Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your November Astrological Overview. This is a pretty big month. We've got a lunar eclipse coming up. We've got Mercury direct, but we will be entering the shadow of Venus retrograde. I'm going to go in order and tell you about it all. Let's start out with this Mercury direct. We had Mercury retrograde that went from September 27th to October 18th. So it's been direct, but we clear what is known as the shadow phase of this on November the 3rd, which is a really good indicator for brand new beginnings. I remember telling people last month for October, if you have something really, really critical, life-changing decision or commitment, maybe wait till we clear the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So that will be happening this month, and it's just in time for the new moon. This is great. We've got the new moon in Scorpio, November the 4th. So when you're setting those new moon intentions, there won't be that inner planet shadow retrograde energy. You can get started right away. And I actually recommend doing so because we have a small window of time this month before we enter Venus retrograde shadow. That's right, more inner planet retrogrades coming our way. But between November 5th and 15th, right after that new moon, that is a prime time. And it doesn't take a lot to take those first steps. Maybe you just make that first phone call you need to make. Maybe you purchase a web domain as a space saver, something so that as you continue to work on a project, it's something you've already set in motion when the astrology was the most supportive of something brand new. So I was happy to see that window of time this month. I hope you can take advantage of it. We've got a lot of Scorpio energy this month. The sun will be in Scorpio all the way through the 20th. We've got Mars in Scorpio all month and Mercury in Scorpio most of the month. So Scorpio energy is all about seeing what's going on beneath the surface. So there's a strong theme of investigation, I would say, afoot. And when Mars and Mercury are in the same sign, I tend to like it because Mercury is ideas, thoughts, Mars is action. That means we can take action on what comes to mind most of the time. And it's in the sign of Scorpio, it's going to be very thorough, well thought out, and something that's not just glossing over or a quick fix. It's going to be a lot more about getting to the root of problems. So if you have some bigger issues to tackle, this is actually a really good month to do it. And that lunar eclipse I mentioned is going to be on the 19th. Now that's a 27-degree Taurus lunar eclipse, but to me it has a Scorpio flavor because it's making a trine to the planet Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio, right? So lunar eclipse, trine Pluto. This is a good energy. Anytime you're working with Pluto, it's good to have a favorable aspect such as a trine because Pluto is so powerful. When it's in a challenging aspect, it's really challenging. People really feel it. But I like this lunar eclipse trine Pluto because it is helping people to let go. Lunar eclipse in Taurus is highlighting the things we've been rigidly, stubbornly clinging to, and this Pluto energy will give that extra push to help us practice that. Jan Spiller would call it the art of letting go in one of her descriptions about this eclipse. I'd say this eclipse could also bring up themes about our personal boundaries and releasing fear, and anything we've started working on back during the last pair of eclipses, which occurred in May and June, could show some results around this time. That's the other thing that you can do with eclipses is track them throughout the year. And usually whatever you start when there's one set of eclipses shows something, some kind of movement, realization, big change as a result of what was initiated during the previous eclipses. So that is some dynamic energy. As I mentioned, we'll be entering that shadow phase of Venus retrograde on November 16th. So it's still kind of a yellow light. Proceed with caution. Depending on your chart. Some people who have a lot of Venus energy in their chart, maybe if Venus is conjunct their sun or moon, or if they're one of the Venus ruled signs such as Libra or Taurus, maybe you will feel more of this shadow slowing energy when Venus retrograde shadow begins November 16th, but a lot of people, it'll be pretty subtle, and you can still proceed with caution, knowing that next month on December the 19th is when the actual retrograde begins, and that really won't be the time to initiate big commitments or decisions, especially regarding love and money. And that's Venus rules, and Venus is going to be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, which is a lot about our resources and business. So if you have bigger business decisions, again, the best window would be between November 5th and 15th, but otherwise you could do it through the end of the month or even into early December if you take some extra due diligence. I always say when we're in the shadow phase, try to double and triple check everything, because there's just more things that could get overlooked. So I hope you can make the most of November's astrology. Be safe and be well, and I will see you back here next time with your astrological overview.